All right, so what if I told you that you could kickstart a side hustle for less than the price of a coffee? I know, it sounds a little too good to be true, right? Well, today we're going to put that exact promise to the test. We're digging into a system that says, yeah, you absolutely can.
And that brings us to the $1,000,000 question. Or, I guess, the $1 question. Can you really build an actual income stream with just the change you'd find in your couch? Or, let's be honest, is this just another one of those online marketing gimmicks wrapped up in a super tempting price tag? Well, luckily for us, we don't have to guess. An online business specialist actually did all the heavy lifting. She took this $1 cash system and put it through a serious 90-day test. And right now, we're going to unpack everything she found out. The good, the bad, and yeah, even the stuff that was a little unexpected. All right, so before we jump into the results, let's get on the same page. What's the actual promise here? What are they really selling you for just a single buck? So the whole idea is pretty simple. It's pitched as like the perfect starting line for anyone who's ever been curious about making a little money online. It gives you a taste of affiliate marketing. That's basically where you get paid a commission for promoting someone else's stuff, but without all the usual headaches and financial risks. And this is the expert who ran the whole experiment for us, Olivia Smith. Now, she is no stranger to this world. She's looked at over 50 of these kinds of online systems. And I think what's really important here is her mindset, which, she says right here, she went into this with a healthy dose of skepticism, ready to find out if it was all just hype. Okay, so you're in. You've handed over your dollar. The question is, what's behind the curtain? What do you actually get? And honestly, it turns out you get a surprising amount for that buck. You get a done-for-you system, which just means you don't have to worry about building a website or anything technical. And this is a big one. You get pre-approved affiliate links. That's something that can usually take weeks to get approved for. Throw in some training modules and a money-back guarantee, and your risk is, well, it's pretty much zero. But this is where it gets kind of clever. It's all about how you get paid. See, with most affiliate marketing, you have to wait for someone to buy a big, expensive product. Not here. This system pays you a little something for every single person who signs up for just $1. The whole point isn't to make you rich overnight. It's to get cash flowing fast. And that, as you can imagine, is a huge motivator when you're just getting started. All right, and now, the moment of truth. It's one thing to talk about how it's supposed to work, but what actually happened when Olivia put it to the test? Let's dive into the actual numbers from her 90-day experiment. So she had a really methodical approach. The first month was all about setting things up and just learning the system. In month 2, she started actually implementing the strategies she learned, and then month 3 was the real test. She went all in with consistent promotion to see if she could actually make it grow. And the results? Well, they were surprisingly consistent. In the first month, she pulled in just under $50. Not too shabby. But look at this. Month 2, it more than doubled to over $126. And by the end of the test, in that third month, she cleared $200. Now look, this is not quit your day job money, right? But it proves something really important. It's not a scam. It's a real, tangible income stream that's actually growing. But Olivia is really clear about this, and it's super important. These results didn't just happen by magic. They were a direct result of the effort she put in. And that's maybe the biggest takeaway here. It's a real system, for sure, but it is not a get-rich-quick button. What you make is going to depend entirely on the work you're willing to do. So, after 3 months and all this data, what's the final word? Is this thing a hidden gem, or is it just a tiny stepping stone? Let's get into Olivia's final verdict. Okay, so when you actually put it side by side with other options out there, you can really see where it fits. I mean, on cost and just being easy for a total beginner, it absolutely blows everything else out of the water. Yeah, traditional affiliate programs can make you way more money, but they can be super confusing and tough to even get into. So the trade-off is pretty clear, right? You're giving up that huge earning potential for a super simple, incredibly low-risk way to get your feet wet. So let's just break it down nice and simple. The good stuff? It's exactly what it says on the tin. Super low risk, you can get started fast, and it is genuinely easy for a newcomer. But you gotta look at the downsides too. You're not gonna get rich here. It's not passive. It takes real effort, and you should definitely expect them to try and sell you more expensive stuff once you're in the system. So what's the final number from Olivia? A surprisingly high 8.2 out of 10. Now, that's a pretty strong recommendation. But, and this is a big but, it comes with a major condition. That score is not for someone who's already an experienced marketer.
It's a score for the exact person this was built for, the total beginner who just wants a safe place to start. Okay, we've seen the data, we've heard the expert's final opinion. Now, the question really turns to you. Is this the right move for your specific goals? And look, the review makes this decision pretty black and white. This is for you if you're a complete beginner, a student, maybe you're retired, and you just want to dip your toes in the water of making money online without any real risk. But you should probably skip it if you're already an experienced marketer, you want total control over everything, or if you're looking for something that's 100% hands-off. And this quote from a real user named Jessica really puts it all into perspective. She's a busy mom, and she says she makes an extra 50 to $100 a month with it. Like she says, it's not a fortune, but it's enough to cover her family's streaming services. I mean, that's a real tangible win right there. So at the end of the day, it really all boils down to this. The evidence seems pretty clear. For a single dollar, the system actually works. It's not going to make you wealthy, but it is a genuine start. So the final question is one you have to ask yourself. Is starting small and safe, even with a lower ceiling, the right first step for you?